So Keisha, can you guys see the screen? Do you see the PowerPoint presentation?
Yes, we can.
Okay, all right, thank you. Good morning, everyone. How are you today?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. I would like to first thank you guys for joining us today. Today we're going to talk about knowing your sources using research resource tools and citations. But first, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Erika Dugo, and I am a faculty research associate with the Smith Institute for Applied Research. And I also teach as an adjunct assistant professor in biology in the natural sciences and mathematics department. Trying to get my technology working for me. Okay, so do you guys know what Smith Institute for Applied Research is? Were you familiar with it before you signed up for this presentation today? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay. I don't have a very talkative bunch today, do I? But Smith Institute for Applied Research, one of the key things that, I'm sorry, was someone saying something? Okay. But one of the key things that we do here is to try to increase the research capacity for our faculty, our staff, and our students. And as a student, we want you to be able to use research as a transferable skill that you can then go on to utilize as you pursue your various careers that you plan to obtain, okay? So by the end of this presentation, you should be able to identify strategies for choosing a research topic. You should be able to distinguish the various methods for troubleshooting topic selection. You should also know how to search the database tools and how they work, and be able to access them utilizing our library here on the campus of JCSU. You also should be able to state why your citations are important when you're referencing them as a source, and also be able to differentiate between the most widely used citation styles that there are. So first, I'd like to introduce you to our team here at Smith Institute for Applied Research. We have Dr. Diane Bowles. She's our executive director. We have Dr. Tara Bingle. She is the undergraduate research development manager. And we have Keisha Talbot Johnson, who is on the call with us today. She is our strategic communications and research manager. And we also have Margaret Watson, who is our admin here at Smith Institute. So your professor told you that you need to pick a research topic. So what do you do now? Okay, I'm sure that's the question that a lot of you guys are asking yourself. And whether you are preparing to start tackling your senior investigative paper, which is your SIP, or you're writing a research paper for your class, it's important that you start off with a good foundation, okay? So just remember that as you start, doing your research and trying to figure out that topic, don't limit yourself. Be open to the process of research, and because research evolves over time, it, you should be able to adapt and could possibly end up in a direction that you didn't even start out on from the beginning, okay? So what are some of those strategies for choosing your research topic? Okay, the first thing you want to do is choose a topic that you're interested in. Okay, make sure that it's something that's near and dear to you and something that you won't lose interest in after, just 5 minutes. Okay, so I always say to think about your various life experiences that you've had, or even a topic in one of your courses that just really drew you in. Okay, so start with those things and then start to see where that leads you over time. Next, you want to start by doing some background research. This helps you develop your topic, and it can help you hone in on or even make changes that you think are necessary as you're deciding what topic you want to discuss. Okay, if you know more about your topic's background, then it'll help you develop a more effective topic, which in turn will help you have a better or more effective research paper in the end. So next you want to, make sure that you understand the guidelines around developing your topic that you've been given by your professor, okay? So don't be afraid to ask your professor for feedback as you are developing that topic. You also may, want to discuss your ideas with family or with your friends, because that can help you think about some things that you may have not thought about, and they could possibly give you more insight uh, and make you think, broader about the topic that you're trying to discuss. Okay, so it helps you to better focus your topic. So next you would want to brainstorm the concepts surrounding your topic. So go through and list all the words or subjects that you know to be related to that topic. So for example, if you're going to write about polar bears, when you think about polar bears, you're thinking about ice, you're thinking about pollution, maybe hunting, or maybe climate change or the environment. Those are things that are related to that topic area. So as you're developing your topic, brainstorm those various concepts. Next, you want to narrow your topic, to something that you can manage. So if your topic is too broad, then you'll find too much information on that topic and you won't be able to focus on a specific item, okay? So through your background research, you should be able to, better choose or limit the scope of your topic. Next, you want to develop a research question, okay, that surrounds your topic. A good research question, it should require analysis. So that means that there's an issue or a problem that you have, and you want to find the answer to that problem, okay? So it should also be something that's feasible, something that you can do within that required amount of time that you have to complete your paper, okay? Your research questions should also be clear and concise, okay? And that just means that it specifically addresses the research topic that you're focusing on, and it's narrow enough within that scope. Excuse me. So as you continue to develop your topic, it will require some in-depth research. Okay, so that's likely looking at scholarly articles or books or other resources. Okay, so like I mentioned to you guys earlier, research is a dynamic process, so it's always evolving. So over time, you may find yourself modifying or refining your topic. So as you are developing your topic, your process will kind of look similar to this. So you'll start off with a topic idea. And here you see that they utilize organic food labeling and food safety. And then you'll do background research on those topics. And from there, you'll formulate a topic question. So from those topic ideas, they came up with the question, how have current opinions about organic foods shaped food labeling laws in the US? And then through more in-depth research, so that means going into your journal articles, the books and other resources that you have, they came up with a more concise and effective statement that said that different opinions of business interests in organic foods have greatly influenced food labeling laws in the US. So as you are developing your topic, think about this process and make sure that you're following these steps as you go along. So it's key that you think of the who, what, when, where, and why questions, okay? Why did you choose this topic? What interests you about it, okay? Who are the information providers of the topic? So who's writing about these certain topics? And where is this information being published, okay? What are the major questions for the topic? You know, is there a debate about this particular topic? Where is the topic important? Like, is it important locally, nationally, or on an international level? And then the when. When is your topic important? Is it a current event or is it a historical issue? So these are the questions that you can ask yourself as you are developing your research topic. So as you navigate the research topic development process, then you may run into some issues where your topic is too broad, and then you need to narrow that topic because you have too much information, okay? So some of the ways that you can do that is by looking at a theoretical approach, which means that you limit your topic to a particular issue. So for example, if you're looking at cloning, so you can look at the theories that surround a high rate of failures in animal cloning, or if you're looking at doing aspect or a certain sub area where you only focus on one piece of the subject. An example of that would be investigating the government regulation of cloning, or you can look at time. So looking at a particular span of time. So for genetics, you can look at and contrast public opinions or attitudes in the 50s versus the 90s or the early 2000s. You can also look at certain population groups. So you can limit your search based on age, sex, race, occupation, species, or ethnic group. So if you're looking at genetics, you can hone in on a specific trait that is only focusing on women who are over the age of 40. And then you can also look at geographical locations. So that means just looking at one particular area. So if you are looking at cloning, you can investigate the cloning practices in Europe or in the Middle East or in the US, whatever you choose. But these are some ways that you can narrow that scope. So if you come across the roadblock of not being able to find enough information, you may need to think about broadening your topic. So you can look at, is your topic too specific? So you can make it more of a general statement. So if we look at this example of looking at genetic diversity of a specific ethnic group in Ghana, which is in Africa, you can broaden it by generalizing it to all ethnic groups in Ghana or either in West Africa. If your topic is too new, it's not enough information out there written about that topic, then you may want to research some of the breaking news events and go from there, okay? And also, have you checked enough databases? So here on campus, as I'll talk about later, we have various databases that you can search for your subject area and be able to limit your search that way. And also, are you using less common words or too much jargon within that topic query? Okay, so you should use a thesaurus to find other terms that represent your topic and try to broaden your topic that way, okay? So here, for example, if your topic is too broad, so say you're looking at food safety, a better way or a way to narrow that topic, you can look at the impact of government regulation in the US on food safety. Or if you have a topic that's too narrow, like I said, it's not enough information there. It's not enough information there, such as the history of organic labeling of pork products in the city of Portland, Oregon. You could make it more broader and look at the labeling of organic foods in the entire US. Okay. So those are some ways that you can think about broadening or narrowing your topic. So in this video, it will give you some food for thought. So it will help you as you start to think about developing your topic. Can you guys hear
Meet
that?
Jenny. Jenny has a research project due in a few days. She picked.
Hold on, I didn't think you guys can hear the sound, could you?
Yeah, we can hear it.
Meet Jenny. Jenny has a research project due in a few days. She picked a topic when her professor first assigned the project. She chose her favorite TV show, Bridezillas. It seemed like a good idea, but now that she's doing her research, she's having a lot of trouble finding sources. She's freaking out. Jenny's problem started with her mental model of the research process, which she sees as a one-way street. Like many students, Jenny thinks that once a project is assigned, she should pick her topic right away. Then she can move on to finding sources and reading through them. And once she has all her sources, she can start writing her paper. But the research process is a lot messier than that, and picking your topic is intertwined with finding and reading sources, and writing and editing your paper. Picking your topic is research. When you first pick a research topic, it isn't set in stone. It's just an idea that you test with some exploratory research. If it looks good, you find and read some more sources. At this point, you might find that the published research leads you away from your original topic. That's okay. You can let the research you find guide you and tweak your topic a bit. And by the time you've gone through this cycle a few times, you may find that you have enough sources to start writing and editing your paper. Even then, as you're writing, you may find that you need to pull in additional pieces of information, and you may return to the research cycle. So, let's wind back the clock for Jenny, bringing her back to the day her professor assigned this project, and allow her to do it again with this research model. Again, Jenny picks a topic that is interesting to her, the reality TV show Bridezillas. As she tests the topic with some internet research and in article databases, she discovers that there is lots written about it in the popular press, but not much scholarly research which her professor requires. Realizing that maybe her topic is a bit too narrowly defined, Jenny decides to tweak it by broadening her scope to reality TV in general. But when she tests this new topic, she winds up drowning in a sea of research, all of which has to do with reality TV, but doesn't tie together to help her form a coherent thesis. Back at the drawing board, she wonders if there's a happy medium between Bridezillas, which is too narrow a topic, and reality TV, which is too broad. Since Bridezillas is just one of several reality TV shows about brides and weddings, perhaps there's more written about this subgenre. Testing this topic in some of the library's research databases yields a promising but not overwhelming number of results. Instead of realizing too late that her topic was unresearchable, Jenny built in the time to test and tweak her topic, so she could take her original idea and shape it into a topic that she still finds interesting and can realistically use for a short research assignment. If you want to know more about the research process,
Okay, so I hope that video gave you a little more background on developing your topic and how to narrow that topic or make it broader based on your needs, okay? So how are you going to begin this research process? So you'll start out by choosing a database, okay? So the databases, they store journal literature. So it has magazines, journals, books, and other periodicals that they offer within that database. So you have hundreds or thousands of articles that are out there, okay? So some of the databases, they are general or they could be interdisciplinary, and they can provide a broad coverage of many of the topics. So many of the databases, they have full text articles that you are able to read online. And they also vary in content. So they include journal articles, conference proceedings, book chapters, theses, or technical reports. Okay. If a database only includes journal articles, then you have various types of articles that may be covered, like magazines or either scholarly peer-reviewed journals. And if the databases, they cover different periods of time, so you can check the ranges of those dates. So as you start to use the database, as you're searching, they have Boolean operators, which are your and or nots. It's a mathematical set of database logic. So they either connect your search words together, or either they narrow or broaden your set of results. Also, we have truncation or wildcards. So with truncation, we have like root words. So you can say, for instance, if you have words that have child in it, so you can use one of the truncation marks, which is either of these here. So your exclamation point, your star, question mark, or hashtag sign. You can use child and then use either one of those truncation symbols. So you see for child, it could be child, child's, children, children's, childhood, things like that. And for genetic, it can be genetic, genetics, genetically, all of those. Or with the wild cards, you have words that are spelled different, but they have the same meaning. So say for instance, woman, so women. So you can use one of those truncation symbols in there to replace that letter so that it picks up all of those terms, okay? And the same thing for color. You can also have subject headings and keywords. So some of the databases, they have particular subject headings that you can pick, or you can either search by specific keywords, or if you have a particular phrase that you're using. Some of the databases, they see all of those words as being one thing, or either some databases, they ignore certain words altogether, or they separate them out. So it also, some of the databases, they have what you call stop words. So your A and the N of on, are, be, if, into, and which. So they're called stop words because they the database will not search those words, because if it searches those words when you put in whatever your topic is, then it'll bring way too many results. So it basically ignores those particular words. So what resources are available to you as a student here at JCSU? Okay. We have the JCSU James B. Duke Memorial Library. So I don't know how many of you have had the opportunity to go over there and search in the library, but we are located directly across from the library. But as a student, you need to know how to be able to access the library. So if you are in Canvas, you should be able to see there that you're able to access the JCSU library from your Canvas. So whatever course that you go into, on that left-hand side where you normally would see your announcements, quizzes, and assignments and all of that, on that menu item, you should also see the JCSU library. So you're able to access it from there. But you can also access it by navigating to library.jcsu.edu. That's what we are going to do here today. Okay, can you guys see? So before we get into the articles and the databases, I want you to see some of the services that are offered. Well on this end. I don't know why it's showing up like that. But here it should say articles and databases. I don't know why that drop down isn't working, but what you will see if you click the services drop down, you'll see articles and databases. You'll also see LibGuides, and you'll see information literacy. So I want you guys to see the video and tutorials that are offered by the library. The library offers a student tour. So I encourage you guys, when you have chance to go in and view the different videos that the library has here. So they have a tour that, just goes through all of the available resources that the library has. And they also have evaluating resources, which just talks about finding those credible resources and making sure that they're appropriate for the research papers that you're doing. Also, selecting reliable information. So again, making sure that whatever source that you're using is a reliable source. It's something that has been validated and you can utilize it within your paper. And they also talk about the differences between a scholarly resource and a popular resource. Also, they have a video on selecting your search terms. So, determining how to search the particular terms based on your topic, and also a video on plagiarism, which I hope a lot of you already know what plagiarism is. And I'm sure, you've probably heard it talked about in class a lot. But of course, plagiarism is using someone else's work as if it's your own and then not giving them any credit for it. Okay. So I encourage you guys to go view those videos when you have an opportunity. So okay, there it is now. So now we're going to navigate to articles and databases. So here, as I said earlier in the PowerPoint, a database, it has the scholarly journals, it has your magazines, your newspapers, your ebooks, and all of those things, all the available electronic resources that the institution has available to you. Now, these are not sources that you will readily find on Google or on the internet. So it's really a valuable tool that you can utilize, and it gives you the opportunity to get peer-reviewed articles. And I'm sure a lot of your professors are requiring you, and especially when you're doing your SIP or your senior investigative paper, you want to make sure that you're using peer-reviewed articles, not just websites, okay? So the library has the databases set up where you can either view all the databases that they have to offer, or they have them set up based on the colleges. So you see here, you have the College of Arts and Letters, Metropolitan College, Social Work, STEM, University College. So if you're in one of those specific colleges, either you can click on that and go to that particular database, or you can just search all of the databases that are available. So I want to go through a quick search with you guys. So I'm going to look for ProQuest, which is a popular database for searching. So ProQuest Central is one of the ones that a lot of people use. So here, once you get to ProQuest, you can do a basic search or you can do an advanced search. If you do a basic search, you can also tell whether or not you want full text, which means that it would give you back results that give full text articles, and you have access to those. or you can select that they be a peer reviewed, only peer reviewed resources are sent back based on your topic. So I want to do an advanced search. So remember we talked about the Boolean operators, so your and, or not. So let's say we're talking about, your topic is on cancer. And you want to look at a particular type of cancer. So let's just say liver. So if we search cancer and liver, and we don't check the full text or the peer review, we see that we get, let's see how many, over 2 million results. Now that's way too many results for you to be able to do anything with and be able to focus down your topic. So we'll go back and modify the search. So let's add, you remember I said you can either add a specific population group or a geographic region or a theoretical approach, all of those things, a specific sub area. So let's look at adolescents. So we're searching cancer, adolescents, and liver. So let's see what the search brings back. So you see, we went from 2 million results all the way down to 131,000 results. So although that's more manageable, it's still a lot of articles and data to sift through. So you may want to modify that even more. So let's go back and see what happens if we do like full text, and then we only want peer review. And then we can look at a particular date. So we can select the specific range, or before or after date, or on this date, or last 3 years. So just to see what we get, you typically, when you're doing your research, you don't want to go with any information that's older than 10 years. So we can say from 2000, let's see, what we want to do, 2015 to now. So you see that that decreased the results even further. So it went from 100+ thousand all the way to 24,000. So you can also, pick particular source types. So say you only want to look at books, or you only want to look at newspapers, or you only want to look at magazines, you can check those. Or if you only want to look at scholarly journals, you can do that. I don't know if you would be looking for it in a different language, but that's also an option. And you can also look at various different document types. So articles, bibliographies, book chapters, and things of that nature. So you have all of these options as you are doing your searches. It also has a thesaurus. So you can look at different words that may be similar to your search topic. So you can use that. There's so many options. And then they also give you different search tips to help you with narrowing down your process as well. So it talks about some of those things that I spoke about earlier too. So does anyone have a particular topic that they would like to search in the database? if you yell it out to me, then I can put it here and we can kind of try to walk through it and see what happens. No one, no takers. Okay, but these are the sources that are available to you. Remember how you get here is through the JCSU library. You go to services and then your articles and databases. And then you can search the various databases. And as I stated, you can do it based on the college that you're in, or you can search all of the various databases. Okay. So we'll go back to the PowerPoint. So let's talk a little bit about citations.
Okay, Dr. Dugo?
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Figured out where my mute thing was here on the screen. If you want to take a minute and use the search term, one of the terms that the students may choose would be, let me see. Oh, thinking. Motivation.
Okay.
In terms of its effect on college success. If you want to run through quickly a sample of that, would be okay.
Okay. And Dr. Ford, you said motivation of student success?
Motivation, yes,
Mhm.
and you could also add a term HBCU, college students, or whatever.
HBCU.
Now, when you put in motivation of student success, will that look up that entire phrase, or will it look up motivation and then student and then success?
It will look up the entire phrase.
That's right.
Minus
Okay.
of.
Oh, yeah.
Minus the word of. So let's see what happens. Oh, let me take those date ranges out of there. So before I take the date ranges out, you see it brought back 1,700 results.
And why don't you try just scholarly journals and like the last 3 to 5 years, something like
3
that.
to 5 years, okay. Only
Yeah.
peer reviewed.
And yes, absolutely. I told them to do peer review in full text.
3 years. Okay, that's even more manageable. 155 results.
Yeah, that's workable there.
Mm-hmm.
They have to. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying that, you can look at the various publications that information is within. So you can limit it based on that or exclude it based on that. Or you can look at location. So these types of things will allow them to be able to even more narrow, their topic. So, they can focus on a certain region or area. Because you see the US is 58 results. Let's see, some of the others are not that much, but you can look at the southeastern region, you can look at the northern region, the west, break it down based on that. Or let's see.
So that wound up being a good example of how you can really limit the number of things that you find.
That is true.
They'll also have the topics that you want in your paper too.
And you see, even based on the subject, so higher ed, HBCUs, African American college students. So yeah, that was a good search. Thank you, Dr. Ford.
No, thank you. That's great.
Okay, I know we're kind of pressed for time, so I'm gonna try to finish up this, finish up the presentation. Let's see what
My ass cheeks hurt.
Okay, so why are citations important? Okay, it shows your reader that you've done your proper research and because you're listing your sources. Keisha, can you mute that person for me?
Say that again.
Oh, I was saying, could you mute that person? It was some background noise
Okay,
in there. Thank you.
you're welcome.
It also shows that you're a responsible scholar because you're giving credit where credit is due, you know, to the other researchers who've done the work. And it also helps you avoid plagiarism, okay? And it allows your readers to be able to go back and look at the same sources that you looked at. So the most widely used citation styles are APA, or the American Psychological Association, the MLA, which is the Modern Language Association, and the Chicago and Turabian style. Okay, so you will use the citation style that your professor has asked you to, or the one that the department or the college utilizes, okay? So most citations, they have standard elements that include the author's name, the title of the book, the article of the journal, the date of publication, the page numbers, and the volume and issue numbers. So if we look at APA citations, your standard elements will be the author, the date, the title, the source, the volume, issue, and pages. So here in this example, you see that the authors are listed by their last name first, followed by their initials. So this author had their first name and their middle initial. So we use both of those. So it's J dot, and it's followed by a comma. And then all of the other authors will be listed in the same way. Last name first, followed by their initial of their first and middle name if provided. And then once you get to that last author, you'll use the ampersand and then the author's last name and first initial. So here was a screenshot of that particular article. So you have the information here, the title, the author's names, the publisher, the date, the volume and issue number, and the pages. So next, it will follow a period. So once you put all the author's names, you'll put a period at the end, followed by the title of the article or the source, and then a period. And then in italics, you will put the title of your journal or book or whatever that you're utilizing. And then if it has a volume, issue, and page numbers, you have a comma, then the volume number, and then in parentheses, you have the issue number followed by a comma, and then you list the page numbers as the beginning page numbers dash the ending page number, followed by a period. So this is how you would set up an APA citation, okay? And you know that your citations, they go at the end of your paper. So either it's listed as references or works cited, okay? Then with MLA citations, their standard elements are author, followed by title, source, other contributors, version, number, publisher, publication date, location. And as you see with MLA, it's a lot of information. And the more information you have, the better it is and the more precise it is. So someone can go and find the particular journal article or book or magazine or whatever that you're referencing. So with MLA, you have last name first, followed by a comma, and then the entire spelling of the first name. And if it's more than one author, then it's followed by the word and then the next author's entire name with the first name and then last. So you see last name first, comma, then first name. And if it's a second author, then the and sign and then the first and last name. And that's followed by a period. And then when you put in the title of your source, then that is put in parentheses, okay, followed by a period. And then the name of the journal or book or magazine in italics, followed by volume, so VOL dot, and the volume number, comma, then the number, NO dot, then the issue number, followed by a comma, and then the date, followed by a comma, and then you, for page numbers, you will put PP dot, the beginning page number, dash, the ending page number, followed by a period. And you can see that information here. So the information from here was placed into this citation. So when you do in-text citation, so say for instance, you're referencing this within your paper, then you will put the author and the page number. So the author's last name, and then the particular page number that you're referencing. For Chicago and Turabian citations, you have the author, date, title, journal title, volume, issue, pages, and the DOI or the stable URL. So here for Chicago, you see that it's last name first, followed by a comma, then the entire spelling of the first name, followed by a period. And then you put the date. So here we find the date. This one. Yep, 2013. Followed by a period, and then the title of the article here. So followed by the title, period, and then ending quotation. Next, you will put in the journal, the name of the journal or the publisher, followed by the volume number, which here is 28. Then in parentheses, you have the issue number, followed by a colon, and then the page numbers from the first dash to the end. And then here you have a DOI. So it's lowercase DOI colon, and then the DOI number. And DOI is digital object identifier. Not all articles have one, but if they do, then you would want to include that information. Or if it's through a website, then you would use the URL for that particular source.
Dr. Dugo?
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me, real quick. It's getting up to be the time and some students may need to leave. I need to know, are you, how will I know which students are there? Or do I need to ask them to say something, or how do we do that?
No, you don't. I can send you that information as soon as we're done.
That'd be great. Okay, thanks. Just
Okay, you're
didn't want to
welcome.
let them get away without that. Okay.
Can I cut in real quick just to ask
Go ahead.
Dr. Ford a question? I had emailed you and I wrote in the chat to you. So if you could just get back to me, that'd be great. And thank you for this presentation, by the way. This has been great and I needed it. But yeah.
You're very welcome. And if you need any more help, you know, we're located across from the library in Carnegie Hall, the upper level, and you are free as a student to come in here, and there's several of us in here, and we can help you navigate whatever you're trying to navigate, especially when it's in terms of research. So that's why we're here, and we want you guys to, you know, have the best experience that you can possibly have, and then provide some other resources that, you know, your professors may not, you know, be able to cover in the amount of time that they have. So, you know, we're here to help with that.
All right, thank you so much. And
Yes,
Dr.
I'll
Ford, just
contact you as soon as class is over there. Okay?
sounds good. Thank you. I'll stay on until
Thank you,
you
Ms.
know
Outlaw.
you're done.
Outlaw.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
So we're reaching up on the last slide. So why must you cite? You must cite your facts, your figures, ideas, anything that is not common knowledge, you have to cite it. So another person's words should be put into quotation marks and then cited with the proper credit. So I say whenever in doubt, just be safe and cite your source, okay? So here are my references for this presentation. And if you have any questions, please feel free. I know we're running out of time, but I'm here for questions. We're out of time.
So I have one question.
Uh-huh.
So if I need help with research or anything like that, is it kind of like a walk-in basis, or due to everything that's going on, is it appointment based?
You can feel free to walk in. We're available. Our doors are open. We love to
All
see
right.
the students. We want to see students over here. So you are free to come whenever you like. Our admin, she's at the front office, and she can direct you, you know, wherever you want to.
All right,
Just
sounds
let her
good.
know what you need.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, so if we don't have any other questions, you know, I just greatly appreciate you guys for joining us today. And like I said, we're located in Carnegie Hall, upper level, across from the library. So just stop by anytime and we're here to assist you, okay? And if you have any questions or, you know, want access to this video, just let me know. I think that at some point it will be uploaded to our YouTube page.
Okay, yes, I definitely would like a copy of this presentation.
Dr. Dugo is correct. We will have it posted on the YouTube, the Smith Institute YouTube channel.
That's great.
Okay.
And one thing I would mention would be that as they're writing papers, particularly as they write papers in their major, they're going to have to write a senior investigative paper. And if they have a topic that they're keenly interested in, the papers, perhaps they might have some choice in their junior year or their sophomore year about the papers that they're going to write. And if they want to perhaps aim those toward their senior investigative papers, then the research that they're doing in their sophomore and junior year can contribute to their senior paper. And they've already done a lot of the research, particularly the time-consuming research, where you're looking at 300 articles as opposed to, you know, 20, something like that, which might be for your paper. but you've done all that groundwork earlier. And that can help make sure that you pick a topic that's okay for your classes, but students can save themselves a lot of time by doing that.
That is so true, Dr. Ford. And I'm sure, as grad students, a lot of us did that, especially when you're having to write research papers, no wasted effort. Right?
Absolutely. Well, they might even use their senior investigative paper as the basis for their master's thesis
That is
or
true.
their doctoral dissertation or whatever, but they've done all the basic. Now all they have to do is just update, find the articles that are within the last, 3 or 4 years since they graduated from Smith, and add
And
that to
update.
their research.
Right. And update it from there. Good point, Dr. Ford.
Or they can do it the hard way and just do it every time new. Whatever.
Well, hopefully they won't be hard-headed and they'll take that advice. That's a good piece of advice. Okay. Well,
Well, thank you
guys.
so much.
Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes, you
Thank you.
too. Have a good
All right.
weekend.
Okay.
Do you want to just do it here?